A couple of weeks ago marks the loss of the regular show. The hit animated series by J.G. Quintel, starring a bluebird and raccoon, has finally come to an end. Let's take a moment during this Shorty to process our feelings. Consider this like group therapy. Granted, I should be talking about Adventure Time's Island Special, but I still feel the need to share my thoughts on this one. After Cartoon Network failed to renew the show for a 9th season, the show took their final season to space, where each episode led to an epic space battle involving one of our main characters, Pops. I won't spoil what happens, but I don't think it's necessary. The idea that the regular show has finally come to an end feels like the end of a generation for many fans. The show premiered at a crucial time when Cartoon Network was making its way back with Adventure Time, another show coming to an end. Before that, Cartoon Network was becoming a dumping ground for live-action programming, which I can proudly say was a thing that most people can look back and laugh at, rather than realizing how phenomenally stupid the choice was. I was still in high school, and all my friends believed Cartoon Network was not as good as it used to be. However, I still had hope. There were two shows that were well animated, funny, and fresh. They were Chowder and The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. After the show ended, which also had a bittersweet farewell, it was the new shows that would lead Cartoon Network into a new generation of creator-driven toons that harked back to their 90s era animation. On paper, I don't think anybody would have thought the regular show was going to be a hit. Starring Mordecai and Rigby, two 20-year-old slackers, both of whom are animals who work for a gumball machine, seems like the strangest idea for a show. But for whatever reason, it worked. Our heroes are at a time during their lives where they have no idea what they're doing. On the surface, they're silly guys who work a small-time job, go on wacky adventures, and we've seen this done dozens of times. However, it's moments when they're pushed to do something with their lives, it basically makes you relate to them. I was getting my bachelor's. Now most psych majors relate to this. You're not going to do much unless you go back to school. So seeing Mordecai have that struggle I had where you had no idea what you're going to do and what your direction was. It doesn't just apply to the main characters, but the rest of the cast as well. However, the one character that didn't really have much to go off of was Pops. Ironically, the last season, which I won't give too much away again, becomes a great arc for Pops to develop as a character. I think the hardest part of letting go of the regular show was actually knowing that it would go away. It's a coming-of-age story. We knew the perfect ending would have Mordecai and Rigby growing up and finding their calling. It's not a spoiler, the show hints this dozens of times that both these characters are going to move on. The way they handled it felt in tone with the show's themes of nostalgia, surrealness, and over-the-top action-adventure. Whatever Quintel decides to go after the regular show, count me in, I'm gonna check it out. Part of me wants to see him go into live action and direct simple Apatow-like comedies with a surreal edge. I would still like to see him in animation, since not only is his style neat and recognizable, as relatives to Peppermint Larry, he's got a great voice for voice acting as well. So here's to you, regular show. Thank you for letting me grow up with you.